May 19th, 2025, week in review. Dart throw. Oh. I hit the board on the right side, and it looks like it separated. The fins came off of the back of the dart. I gotta check that out after this. Okay, so Syndicate was this week. No, not Syndicate. Jeremy Thiel's event in Oklahoma was this weekend, and it looked pretty good. We had some people there from our team, and got great reports back on it. Watched some of the footage. It looked like it went well. So good job to those guys, and great event. Looked like some good athletes qualified. French Throwdown also was last weekend, and that also went really well. And that looked pretty cool, seeing all the stuff coming out of that. So a bunch of these events in process and going well. In a couple of weeks, there's like 4 events. So 2 weekends from now, it's a big weekend of events, and there'll be multiple events. I will be heading out to Syndicate for the first day, and then I think we'll have some people at some of the other events. And then after that is the NorCal event. So I'll be heading to that too for a couple days. Big games announcement tomorrow. So pay attention. I'm not going to be able to talk much about it right now, but next week I'll kind of give a big overview of what it is. There's a handful of neat pieces to it. The timing, what it is with the timing, never been this early, and how else, I don't want to say too much yet. I'll wait till the announcement. So tomorrow, pay attention, games announcement for the games in Albany. Also, this in the link, I'll have a link to where you can buy tickets if you want to go to the games. And I'll also have a code. I have a code now, TDC20. So click on the code, and if you want to purchase tickets to the games, you can get them at 20% off, and use TDC20. I'm not getting any money from that. I work for CrossFit, so I can't get any money. But I guess I'll get credit. I'll get a kudos. Someone signed up using my link. So the athletes, they're going to have links too. Their links, actually, they will get a little kickback from that. But I can't, which is totally understandable. At Eddie 4951. Just rewatching The Fittest on Amazon Prime. Awesome. Need some of that 2018-19 energy going forward. A lot of fun. Ben Bergeron with the Jamaican bobsled analogy. I don't remember what that was. 2018, 2019 energy going forward. A lot of fun. Yeah, that was a different phase in our evolution of CrossFit and the sport. Pre-pandemic, pre-18 was like all the major changes that could be viewed as like the pinnacle of a lot of things, the pinnacle of the sport, the evolution of it. From there's just been a lot of, after COVID, there's been a lot of changes. Even after 18, there's been a lot of changes. Then you had COVID, and so it's kind of been a rough run since then. Still some great years, still some good years, but 18 was a unique era. So The Fittest on Amazon Prime, check that out. Also, there's a documentary from the 22 games that you can check out that's still available. At the Clooney Adventures. Dave, have you ever used AI as a tool to help you program a CrossFit workout or event? Where do you see the use of AI for the future of fitness and, more importantly, CrossFit? I have not, but I think I've heard of a lot of people who do use it, especially I've heard some of the people who offer programming and sell programming have used AI to help write the overviews or do programming. It obviously has a place. I don't know what that place is yet for my process. Maybe I should try to test it with asking for some things that I could, where I think it could help, and see what I think of the outcome. But for programming the games, I have not thought about using it. For programming an event, I have not thought. I imagine some people have. If you have, tell us about your experience, and I'll read that here. But where do you see the use of AI in the future of fitness and more importantly, CrossFit? I see it as a tool to help people, to help coaches, to help affiliate owners with their programming and with class plans, etc. So it does have a place for sure. At O'Rourke James 2. Dave, what are your thoughts on special invites given to athletes for the in-person qualifying events for the games? I personally think it's a little ridiculous to not have a uniform qualification process that starts with the Open. Some events had online qualifiers. Some use the Open and online semifinals to fill spots. Shouldn't be the same process across the board, and should athletes who aren't eligible for the games even be allowed to compete at qualifying events? Thanks for everything you do. So, lots here. Special invites given to athletes for in-person qualifying events for the games. No issue with that. If the event organizer is basing giving a special invite to an athlete who's in the top 1% and who is going to make an impact in the competition and can potentially qualify, yeah, I think that's not an issue. Even if they're giving a special invite to someone who's not relevant or someone who's not good and they just want to let that person compete at their event, that person's not going to get through because, well, A, the top 1% in the Open piece, and B, there's going to be other people since the qualifying event who are hungry and who are good and who can make it to the games. So if an event wants to have special invites, I don't have an issue with it. I personally think that it's a little ridiculous to not have a uniform qualification process that starts with the Open. Some events have online qualifiers. Some use the Open and online semifinals to fill the spots. I disagree. I think it is uniform. It's uniform in that you have to finish in the top 1% of the Open, then you have to either go through the online semifinal that we hosted, the affiliate semifinal, or through one of these events in person to earn a spot. Now, how those events are running is different. Some do allow qualification or do invite. Some do have an online qualifier. They're run different, but the options to get to the games are still uniform. At least that's how I see it. Shouldn't it be the same process across the board? Should athletes who aren't eligible for the games even be allowed to compete at qualifying events? So, yeah, I don't have a problem if you're not allowed to qualify for the games because you're not taking a qualifying spot. The other athletes still get it. At Sean, oh, geez, how am I so bad at reading all of these? At Sean in Oregon. Dave, you've been around CrossFit since the early days, 05. What fires you up and keeps you motivated about CrossFit today, 20 years later? That's a great question, and that could probably be a whole episode or a whole discussion in and of itself. But I will say this. I think when you look at what I've done with CrossFit and my role in CrossFit and my contribution to CrossFit, I really see the games as something that like I started and have nurtured through this point and watched it grow and helped it become the sport that it is. And the seminar team and the seminar staff, the education business, the training business, I really see that as something that we built up, myself with Nicole Carroll and the rest of the team, into what it is today. So and then, my involvement in the community and the affiliates. There's a lot that I've done in CrossFit and for CrossFit that are really close to me, and it's something that I'm really proud of having contributed to and built. So that's one aspect of what keeps me going. The other aspect of what keeps me going is just seeing the power of CrossFit and how it can change people's lives, and the tool that the affiliate owners and CrossFit trainers have to change someone's life or change their own life through the fitness methodology and through nutrition. So those things keep me going. I've talked about, why did I come back? Some of the things I just talked about is one of the reasons why I came back, but also with CrossFit and with this movement, the ability to make an impact on the world is from a much higher position. Doing any of this, I could be doing fitness, or I could be doing events, or I could be doing stuff as an individual, like a lot of these guys are, and like a lot of people are. And as an individual, you have a lot of ability to make an impact on the world or to affect people in a positive way. But with the collective movement and entity that is CrossFit and the 10,000 gyms and the hundreds of thousands of trainers and the people who associate and do CrossFit, with that collection of people and with that movement, you can reach so many more people. So for now, and doing this with CrossFit is where my heart is, and I do think that's what's kept me motivated for over 20 years in doing all of this. At FAMUKB, Dave, I bought a bottle of oil back in 23 when Street Parking came to the ranch. The bottle hasn't been opened. Is it still good to use? Yeah, it's totally good to use. This stuff has several years of shelf life. It's fine. At Lucas Ferragazzo, try standing up when you throw the dart. I think the whole point, let me rephrase that. The whole point is to do it from the chair, at least in my mind. I'm not going to stand up. I'm going to spin and throw it, and it's really far. Well, not really far, but it's much further than a standard dart throw. Hi, Dave. Great move on the nutrition course. Just registered for the Community Cup. It looks decent. Awesome way to give added value to the process. Hopefully something like that is a feature every year from here on out. Cheers. Someone said, hold up. Can you elaborate? Nutrition course. Hurricane Torvinen said that. So here's the deal. So if you sign up for the Community Cup, which registration is open now, so sign up, you get you can register for the Community Cup, or there's also a bundle where you can register for the Community Cup, get a Community Cup t-shirt, and get the nutrition course, the online nutrition course, as part of that bundle. And the online nutrition course is an online course that we created a few years back, and it's like $120. So it's a really good deal if you sign up for the Community Cup and get this bundle. And why the nutrition course? Because obviously nutrition is the base of our pyramid, and nutrition is the essence of health and the essence of fitness, the foundation of elite fitness, let's say. So basically, if you care about your health or you care about being fit or CrossFit, nutrition is at the core of that. So making sure you have education and understanding of core principles is it's a good reason why we included the nutrition course, to re-emphasize the importance of nutrition to our community. At Ty Phelan 909, hey Dave, maybe a silly question, but do you ever see a potential or a possibility of the games going back to an open regionals game structure, as well as having every division compete the same weekend? Cheers. Open regionals game structure, that one would be harder to pull off, I would say. 1 second. But you never know. Maybe. I think, we get a lot of discussion about that every year. A lot of talk, a lot of community express their desire for something like that. I was a fan of it, but we will see. Not next year, or as of now, not next year. Who knows what happens if someone else buys it? Maybe they will want to do that next year. Do you ever see every division competing in the same weekend? So up until basically last year was the first year where we broke them off. Every year that they were included, they were at the games. Maybe that should come back. The deal with that, though, is like the requirements, the space, like in Albany, we would not have been able to do that. Even in Texas, we probably would not have been able to do that without having a big separation of like one event happening here and then, at a different location, several hundred yards away, the other events happening. So maybe, possibility, but unknown at this point. At Anthony Pa 2259, Dave, is Sevi the number one olive oil salesman in America? He is probably the number one olive oil salesman for TDC Mercantile. TDCmercantile.com. That's where you can buy my olive oil and leather products. I make some leather belts and other leather items. Oh, and I have merch. I have t-shirts there too. I'm going to add hats soon, but I have not yet. So he does a really good job of selling my olive oil. So for me, yes. For olive oil in general, no. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Leave some thoughts or comments in the comment section, and I will try to address them next week.